In 2016, Terrance Ferguson was one of the hottest names in high school basketball. He had scholarship offers from almost all the top colleges in the country, and many people thought that he would be a future NBA star and probable lottery pick. However, instead of going to any of these top colleges, he decided to play overseas instead, leaving many people confused. In today's video, we'll be talking about why he made this decision and what it means for the future of his career. Terrance Ferguson attended Prime Prep Academy, a high school founded by Deion Sanders in Fort Worth, Texas. 4 lawsuits were brought against the school, 2 are still active, but 2 were dropped. Prime Prep Academy almost a year ago officially closed due to mismanagement of funds and academic dishonesty. Real quick, I want to give a quick timeline of the events that took place since the school opened in 2012. So in August of 2012, the school opened for its first year. In 2013, a fight for control between Deion Sanders and other co-founder D.L. Wallace brewed and caused disruptions in the school. In January 2014, school funds reached an all-time low and they continued to drop from there. Constant movement with the campus without notifying the school district, and in January of 2015, Prime Prep closed after less than 3 years of existence. So, the problems are obvious just based off of this timeline. There are many scandals in the first 3 years, not even 3 years of the school's existence, and it eventually caused it to close in January of 2015. So, employees were constantly being fired and rehired. No food companies wanted to work with the school because of their finances. They never paid back the other food companies that they worked with. They were always late on rent or just didn't pay it, and they never really paid back their loans either. The school was accused of hiring unqualified people as their teachers or staff members, and they received an improvement required for academics their first 2 years of existence. So they had below level academics in their first 2 years of existence, and I think from doing my research, if you receive 3 in a row, then your school doesn't get funding anymore. So they were in jeopardy of losing their funding, but they ended up losing it anyway, so that's another subject. They focused more on athletics, or they were accused of focusing more on athletics than academics because they had unqualified teachers and very qualified coaches. I mean, Deion Sanders was the coach of the football team, so they had a professional football player coaching their football team, but they didn't do background checks and they had people without degrees teaching their students. So this was a big problem that also raised eyebrows for many people. They also stopped paying rent, loans, taxes, and other payments after losing their funding from a district, and even before, when their revenue was cut in half and when they reached an all-time low in funds, they kind of stopped paying their payments, and this really led to many problems. Terrance Ferguson originally committed to Arizona but decided to play in Australia instead, and many people think that this is because of the fraudulent actions at Prime Prep Academy. Many people think that if he would have attended Arizona, he would have either been kicked out of Arizona or he would have lost his scholarship because of the academic scandals at Prime Prep. Teachers at Prime Prep were accused of faking grades or not giving enough work or just not giving work at all. Sometimes students would practice the whole day and not go to any classes, or their classes would be practice. Like, just very suspicious stuff happening at the school. And Terrance Ferguson, it seems like with all the offers that he had from Arizona, Duke, Kentucky, all these top schools that he could have gone to, and he originally planned on going to Arizona, but once the school shut down and all these scandals were uncovered, he decided to play in Australia instead. And another interesting player to look at is Emmanual, who also attended Prime Prep Academy. If you don't know, played in China before entering the 2016 NBA draft, I believe it was, and he originally committed to SMU, but after the scandals arose at Prime Prep Academy, he ended up uncommitting from SMU, if that's the word, and he decided to play overseas in China instead. So many people believe that these players, had they gone to college, would have lost their scholarships or lost their eligibility and jeopardized their future in the NBA or college. And they did themselves a favor by playing overseas. I'm pretty sure that Emmanual, Mudiay, and Terrance Ferguson would have preferred to play in the NCAA instead of in their foreign leagues, because obviously you get more exposure here. And since Terrance Ferguson went to Australia, his draft stock has dropped dramatically. In 2016, he was one of the hottest players in high school. I saw him on Mini Balls Life mixtapes, Mini Baller Vision mixtapes. He was everywhere. He was projected the top 10 pick by some people, but now he's projected top 20. He's lost his draft stock by almost 10 spots since deciding to play overseas, and the scandals at Prime Prep Academy may have resulted or caused this. Mudiay originally committed to SMU, like I said, but played in China instead. His draft stock didn't drop as much, but it did still take a hit, and many teams were unsure about drafting him. So this is the reason that Terrance Ferguson played overseas, in my opinion. If you guys have any thoughts on this subject or any additional information that you would like to add, please leave it in the comment section down below. This was a very long research project for me. It was kind of like a school research project looking into all this stuff. Please hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed, and subscribe to my channel for more sports content. I'll see you in my next video.